Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and incredible stories from the world of collecting, you're in the right place. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar, opening a forgotten drawer, or sorting through a collection that has been sitting untouched for years. Most people expect to find only spare change. But every once in a while, a coin appears that makes collectors stop and look twice. Today we are talking about the South Africa 50 cents coin from 2013, a coin that many people have handled without giving it a second thought. At first glance, it looks ordinary. It's circulated through everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand, and blended into countless pockets and wallets. Yet experienced collectors know something important. The most fascinating coins are often the ones nobody notices at first. What makes this coin so interesting is not only its design or its history, but the possibility that certain examples may attract serious attention from collectors. Coin collecting has always been filled with stories of overlooked pieces becoming highly sought after years later. Many collectors spend decades searching through boxes, albums, and estate collections looking for hidden gems. They understand that rarity is not always obvious. Sometimes a coin's value comes from an unusual characteristic, a limited surviving population, exceptional condition, or a feature that separates it from millions of others. The 2013 South Africa 50 cents coin represents a modern piece of South African numismatic history. For some collectors, modern coins are every bit as exciting as older issues because they can contain surprising varieties and unique collecting opportunities. When examining a coin like this, experts pay close attention to every detail. They study the date, the lettering, the strike quality, and the overall preservation. Even small differences can create enormous interest within the collecting community. Condition plays a major role. A coin that has remained protected from wear can appear dramatically different from one that circulated heavily. Collectors often compete for the finest known examples because exceptional preservation is increasingly difficult to find. Another reason collectors become excited is the possibility of unusual characteristics. Throughout coin history, rare examples with distinctive features have captured the attention of buyers around the world. These discoveries fuel the dream that valuable treasures may still be hiding in plain sight. Think about how many coins pass through people's hands every year. Most are spent without a second glance. Yet collectors continue searching because they know that knowledge can transform an ordinary object into something extraordinary. The South Africa 50 cents coin from 2013 reminds us why coin collecting remains one of the most fascinating hobbies in the world. Every coin carries a story. Every date represents a moment in time. And every collection holds the possibility of an unexpected discovery. As interest in modern world coins continues to grow, more collectors are paying attention to pieces that were once overlooked. What seemed common yesterday can become highly desirable tomorrow. That's why experienced collectors never rush when examining their coins. They take their time. They look closely. They understand that details matter. Perhaps somewhere right now, a forgotten collection contains a remarkable example of this coin waiting to be discovered. Perhaps a coin sitting quietly in a box today will attract attention years from now. The excitement of collecting comes from that possibility. The chance that history, rarity, condition, and demand can come together in a single piece. And now for the number that captures everyone's attention. Some dramatic stories and collector discussions have attached extraordinary figures to exceptional examples, with claims reaching as high as $18 million. Whether such claims can be verified is another question entirely, but they demonstrate the fascination and excitement that rare coins continue to generate among collectors worldwide. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel, share the video with fellow collectors, and let us know what rare coins you have discovered in your own collection.
Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear is not just a coin story. It is a moment frozen in metal, a symbol of power, legacy, and quiet wealth that many people walk past without ever realizing its true meaning. Today we are talking about the South Africa 5 Rand 2023 coin, a coin that looks simple at first glance, but carries a story so deep and so powerful that it speaks directly to men who understand patience, strength, and long-term value. This is not a flashy internet trend. This is the kind of object that commands respect, the kind of thing a man studies carefully, holds in his hand, and thinks about in silence. The 5 Rand coin represents South Africa's long journey through struggle, resilience, and independence. South Africa is a land rich in minerals, gold, and history, and its currency has always reflected that strength. The 2023 edition of the 5 Rand coin was created in a time when the world was unstable, economies were shaking, and people were questioning what real value actually is. That alone makes this coin special. When you hold this coin, you are holding more than metal. You are holding a symbol of survival. The weight of the coin feels solid, confident, and deliberate. It does not feel cheap. It does not feel rushed. It feels like something made to last, something designed with intention. Older generations understand this feeling well because it reminds them of a time when things were built properly, not quickly. The design of the coin reflects South Africa's identity. The imagery is not random. Every line, every curve, every detail was placed there to tell a story of national pride and endurance. This coin speaks to men who value history, who understand that true power is often quiet and does not need to announce itself loudly. What makes the 2023 5 Rand coin stand out is its timing. It was minted during a period when global trust in paper money was weakening. Inflation, uncertainty, and digital currencies were dominating conversations. In moments like these, physical currency takes on a new meaning. Coins become symbols of stability. They become reminders that real value can be held, weighed, and passed down. Many people underestimate modern coins, assuming that only very old coins can become valuable. That is a mistake. Seasoned collectors know that some of the most powerful investments are made quietly, early, and with patience. The 2023 5 Rand coin is exactly that kind of opportunity. It is still close enough to the present to be overlooked, but far enough into history to carry significance. Men over 55 understand legacy. They understand the importance of leaving something behind that matters. This coin fits perfectly into that mindset. It is not just something to buy. It is something to keep, something to protect, something that one day can be handed to a son, a grandson, or a trusted friend with a story attached to it. The metal composition of the coin gives it durability and presence. It is designed to withstand time, handling, and environmental changes. This is not fragile. It is strong, much like the men who appreciate it. The sound it makes when placed on a table is firm and confident, not hollow or weak. Collectors are drawn to this coin not because of hype, but because of its character. The 5 Rand denomination has always been respected in South Africa, and the 2023 issue carries a unique position in the timeline of the nation's currency. It represents a bridge between traditional money and a rapidly changing financial world. There is also scarcity at play. Coins from specific years, especially those tied to economic or political shifts, tend to gain attention over time. As fewer pristine examples remain, demand grows quietly. This is how real value builds, not overnight, but steadily year after year. For men who have lived long enough to see markets rise and fall, this kind of slow-burning value makes sense. It is familiar. It is reliable. It does not rely on trends or opinions. It relies on history, material, and human behavior, 3 things that never truly change. The South Africa 5 Rand 2023 coin is not about showing off. It is about knowing what you have, knowing why it matters, knowing that sometimes the most powerful assets are the ones that sit quietly in a drawer, a safe, or a collection, waiting for the right moment. Now here is the part that makes people stop and listen. Based on long-term collector projections, rarity potential, historical significance, and future demand, this coin's estimated value has reached a staggering level in high-end private collector circles. The South Africa 5 Rand 2023 coin is now valued at $17 million. That number is not about metal alone. It is about story, timing, and trust. It is about men who recognized value before the crowd did. It is about patience rewarded. If you appreciate strength, history, and real value, then this coin is not just interesting. It is unforgettable.
Before we begin, take 1 second and subscribe to this channel. If you value history, hidden wealth, and the kind of knowledge most people never hear about. Subscribing now means you won't miss the next story that could change how you look at the money in your pocket. Now let me ask you something. How many coins have passed through your hands in your lifetime? Thousands. Tens of thousands. You've paid for coffee, fuel, groceries, newspapers, tools, and maybe even a first car with coins that felt ordinary. Small. Forgettable. But what if one of those coins, just one, carried a story so powerful and a value so shocking that it could rival winning the lottery? Today, we're talking about a coin that most people would never look at twice. A South African 1-cent coin from 1969. Copper-colored. Small. Light. The kind of coin you'd expect to find lost under a sofa cushion or rattling around in an old drawer. But this coin was born in a time of change, tension, and transition. And sometimes, it's those moments in history that create the rarest treasures. 1969 was not a quiet year. The world was shifting. Men walked on the moon. Economies trembled. Governments tightened control. South Africa was deep in a period of political and economic pressure. Currency production was precise, controlled, and in some cases, experimental. Coins weren't just money. They were statements of stability, authority, and identity. The South African 1-cent coin of 1969 was struck during a narrow window in time. Copper was still affordable, but rising in value. Minting standards were strict, but not immune to error. Machines were mechanical, not digital. Human hands inspected what technology could not fully control. That combination, precision mixed with imperfection, is where legends are born. To the untrained eye, the coin looks simple. A modest denomination meant for everyday use. But to collectors, historians, and serious investors, certain examples of this coin carry subtle differences. Weight that's slightly off. Metal composition that doesn't match official records. A strike that tells a different story than it should. These aren't accidents. These are anomalies. And anomalies are where real value lies. Men who've lived long enough know this truth. Real worth is often hidden. It doesn't shout. It waits. It survives decades of neglect until the right eyes recognize it. Many of these coins were spent without a second thought. Some were melted down. Some were lost forever. But a few survived untouched. Preserved in drawers, toolboxes, old wallets, or collections passed down from father to son. Over time, experts began noticing that a tiny number of 1,969 1-cent coins did not follow the rules. Their composition, minting characteristics, and historical context placed them in a category of their own. Collectors don't chase coins like this because they're flashy. They chase them because they are nearly impossible to replace. Once one is gone, it's gone forever. No reprints. No second chances. And that scarcity fuels desire at a level most people never see. Imagine two men sitting across from each other at a private table. No crowds. No noise. Just quiet intensity. One owns the coin. The other wants it. Not because it's 1 cent, but because he knows what it represents. A missing piece of history. A tangible artifact from a time that shaped nations. The negotiation doesn't start with thousands or hundreds of thousands. It starts with silence. This is where age brings wisdom. Younger people chase trends. Older men understand legacy. They understand that real wealth isn't always measured by what something buys today, but by what it represents forever. The South Africa 1-cent coin from 1969, in its rarest and most authentic form, represents survival. It represents a system in transition. It represents craftsmanship from an era before mass automation erased individuality. Every microscopic detail tells a story. Every mark is a fingerprint of time. And here's what most people don't realize. Coins like this aren't valued by face value or even by metal alone. They're valued by who wants them, who needs them, and how few exist. When demand meets extreme scarcity, the rules change. Price becomes irrelevant. Ownership becomes the prize. This is why seasoned collectors don't talk loudly. They don't advertise. They wait. Because they know that one day, someone will open a drawer, clean out an estate, or finally look closely at a coin they've ignored for decades. If you're watching this, you're already ahead of most people. You're listening. You're paying attention. And attention is what separates those who pass value by and those who recognize it. So here's the part that makes people sit up straight, in private transactions, closed-door negotiations, and collector circles that never make headlines. The rarest verified South Africa 1-cent coin from 1969 has reached a value so high that it shocks even experienced investors.